secondary to renal disease. Because this blood pressure, when the blood pressure is raised due to renin secretion, that means we have a kidney problem. And that is why the kidney secreted renin to raise the blood pressure. So this blood pressure is not primary. It is due to increased secretion of renin coming from the kidney. So this is secondary type of hypertension.
Wonderful, please.
Thank you. Extra credit. If you don't understand, I can do it again. No problem. Types of blood pressure. How many types of blood pressure? Four. Primary. Primary means no apparent cause. It could be hereditary coming from the parents. No apparent cause. This is primary, and this is 99% of blood pressure is primary. No apparent cause. But we have another kind of blood pressure, high blood pressure, called secondary blood pressure. Secondary means due to underlying cause. What the underlying cause could be? The kidney. Kidney disease. When the kidney is the reason, it secretes renin. And the renin elevates the blood pressure. Here, the treatment of blood pressure, you don't have to treat it as just blood pressure. You have to treat the primary cause, the primary reason. And that is why we always say primary hypertension has no treatment. No treatment. But you can control it. You have to live with the pills for life. But the secondary hypertension is treatable. When you treat the kidney, the blood pressure goes down. Again?
I understand.
If you say again, I'm going to hate you.
No, if I say again, watch it in YouTube.
Okay. Very good. Are you ready for this? I'm going to write a word, but I need someone to help me how to pronunciate it. Okay?
Angiotensinogen.
I'm sorry?
Angiotensinogen.
Very good. Angiotensinogen. What is angiotensinogen? One of the plasma proteins. One of the plasma protein called angiotensinogen. It is found normally in blood. Do you remember which organ of the body is responsible for plasma protein formation? Liver. Where the angiotensinogen is formed?
In the liver.
Liver. Liver. Very good. Angiotensinogen is a nice protein. It's not active, it's inert substance. Doesn't do anything. But when the renin is secreted here, it acts upon the angiotensinogen. It acts on it. And then it converts angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. Into angiotensin 1. And then with the enzyme, called converting enzyme. Converting enzyme. It converts angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. You need more? You need more? No answer.
I had more?
If you need more,
It's gonna go by numbers?
angiotensin 2 is a strong vasoconstrictor. And a strong vasoconstrictor and elevate the blood pressure. Is that the, you okay? You okay? How's your boyfriend doing? Good? So why you look like depressed? You okay? Okay. That is the mechanism. How the renin raises the blood pressure. It converts angiotensin into angiotensin 1 by converting enzyme is converted into angiotensin 2, which is strong vasoconstrictor. That is the renin. Well, actually, for the treatment of high blood pressure, if the kidney is the reason here, and that is why they say they having what's called kind of tablet for the treatment of blood pressure called ACE inhibitor, ACE inhibitor, ACE inhibitor. What is ACE inhibitor?
Inhibitor is something that
Angiotensin
angiotensin.
converting enzyme inhibitor. So this medicine coming to this converting enzyme and remove it, inhibit it. Doesn't work no more. What happened here? No more angiotensin 2 and the blood pressure will be fine.
There is a pill. That is a pill.
Pill, ACE inhibitor. In pharmacology classes, we study the name of the pills, but here you don't have to because this is anatomy and physiology class. Okay. You need the name of the pills? Uh-huh. You wanna bring it on the test?
That is gonna be on the test. If it is on a board.
Okay. Well, actually, the renin also goes to the suprarenal gland. This renin is a very bad guy. Very bad guy. Let me show you. remember the kidney? What is the name of this gland?
Okay.
Suprarenal gland, right? The suprarenal gland having also cortex outside and medulla inside. The medulla is just to secrete adrenaline. This is specialized for your mother-in-law. Suprarenal medulla, just adrenaline. But the cortex is different. The cortex secretes different hormones. Renin, when it go here, also it go to the suprarenal gland here to secrete aldosterone hormone. Aldosterone hormone. To understand the action of aldosterone, what is the aldosterone hormone doing? Do you care if you have aldosterone hormone? You don't
We
care.
think
Okay.
that means we have to care. If we have it in our body,
Okay. Okay. What is the name of this tubule?
this
Distal convoluted tubule. At the distal convoluted tubule here, we have a pump. 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 This pump, the aldosterone working on this pump here. So what happened when the aldosterone work on this pump? It take the sodium from the urine and it push potassium. It absorb the sodium and it excrete the potassium. Exchange. This is positive, this is positive. So give me this positive, take another positive, we're even. Do you remember the sodium? Sodium is the salt. Sodium chloride. Salt. And the salt having affinity, the salt like water. It like water. If you leave the amount of sodium, salt, in a humid weather, the sodium becomes wet. All of it. It comes, it absorb water. It love water. Okay, sodium. So when the sodium move, water move. And they increase the blood volume and increase the blood pressure. So listen to this. Renin excreted from the kidney elevate the blood pressure through angiotensin system and through excretion of aldosterone. By the effect of aldosterone increase the sodium and water inside the body, more increase in the blood pressure. And that is why we have another tablet for antihypertensive medicine working here. It's called aldactone. work here to stop the aldosterone. Stop it. And keep the sodium go out and potassium inside. And it helps in the lower blood pressure, other than one of the diuretics, because it increases excretion of sodium. That is the secretion and excretion. Any question? No question? Again, function of the kidney, filtration, reabsorption, secretion, excretion. That is the only function of the kidney? Do you have any other functions of the kidney? Homeostasis, very good. Homeostasis. What does the homeostasis means? Balance of internal environment. Balance of the internal body. The inside of the body. Everything has to be constant, stable, all the time. But the kidney is, you see that the kidney, it secretes extra water, extra sodium, extra potassium, anything extra excreted to keep inside the body everything constant all the time. What is the kidney regulate? pH of the blood. The kidney is important, one of the important organs that regulate the pH of the blood. Why every time I say pH you get shocked? You know the pH, right? Everyone knows what the pH is? Okay. The acidity of the blood. The acidity. pH is the degree of acidity of the blood. Very good. The pH of the blood ranges between 7.34 to 7.35. No. 4.5. 4.5. Less than 8. What do you think, the blood is alkaline or acidic or neutral? What is the blood? Was it pH? pH 7 is neutral, right? Below 7 is acidic. Above 7 is alkaline. So this is slightly alkaline. Any change in the blood pressure, in the blood pH, is dangerous for life. Because the enzymes and the hormones working in this pH, this range of pH, any change of the pH, the hormones and the enzymes are not working no more, and you will die.
Oh.
And that is why regulation of pH, we have 3 main organs sharing together, working together, hand by hand for regulation of blood pH. We have
Kidney,
the kidney,
respiratory system,
respiratory system,
and the blood.
and blood. Very good. Blood. Buffer system of the blood. Buffer system of the blood. One of the buffer system of the blood is the hemoglobin itself. It shares. Look at the three big systems, the three biggest systems in the body, sharing to regulate the pH of the blood because it is important. It's serious. Very good. Homeostasis. I don't want to go to the mechanism of regulation of pH. You want to go to the mechanism of regulation of pH? How it works? No one? Huh? You want to know how the kidney regulate the pH of the blood? Yes?
Of course.
How many one knows? Raise your hand. 3, 4.
All of us.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Very good. Do you remember the proximal convoluted tubule? It's a tubule, right? It's formed of cells. Cells next to each other. Cells. This is a tubule here. And that is a cell. Cell, 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 and so on. This is the kidney tissue. And this is the lumen. Lumen of the tubule. The urine is running here. Can you imagine this? Again. This is a tubule. And this wall is this one. This is the urine, this is the urine. This is the kidney tissue. Is that clear? You got it? No? This is the proximal convoluted tubule. And the filtrate running here to form the urine, right? And this is the tubule and the running here. Here is here.
Okay.
This wall is this one. The kidney tissue is this here.
Okay.
To understand this mechanism, let me tell you something about pH. pH, distilled water, no ions here. When you add hydrogen ions, what happened to the pH?
It's a go up?
Acidic, down, it goes down. Acidic. Distilled water, pH is 7. When you add when you add hydrogen ion, becomes 6. More acid, acidic. When you add more hydrogen ion, it becomes what? 5.
5.
More, 4. More acidic. More hydrogen ion, more acidic. Okay. So when you want to make some solution acidic, can you add hydrogen ion? Yes. If you want to remove the acidity, can you remove the hydrogen ion?
Yes.
But listen, when you remove the hydrogen ion, it goes back to what? to 7. On the other side, when you add bicarbonate, goes up to alkaline, more carbonate, more alkaline, and so on. So basically, we have hydrogen ion, bicarbonate. And you can adjust the pH with these two ions, yes. You need more acidity, add more hydrogen ion, or remove some of the bicarbonate. You want it more alkaline, add more bicarbonate or remove some of the hydrogen ion. And that is a function of the kidney. Do we have carbon dioxide in your body? You have water. Are you sleeping?
No.
Okay. We have enzyme in the kidney called the carbonic anhydrase enzyme, and it connects these two together in one component. One component. How many hydrogen ion here we have? H2, right?
Yeah.
How many carbon atom?
One.
How many oxygen?
Three.
1 and 2, 3.
Yeah.
And they form this compound,
H2.
H2CO3. 2 carbon atom, 2 hydrogen atom, 1 carbon and 3 oxygen atom together. They attach these two components together. You know what is the name of this compound? Carbonic acid. It forms carbonic acid. This carbonic acid dissociates into hydrogen and the 2 hydrogen here, just 1 hydrogen separate, and the rest of the compound stay here. And this compound is originally is carbonic acid, but missing 1 hydrogen, and it's called bicarbonate. Bicarbonate. And that is the salt when you put sodium instead of hydrogen, it's sodium bicarbonate or potassium bicarbonate or calcium bicarbonate, whatever. Look at this here. Now we have what? We have the 2 components for pH regulation. The hydrogen and bicarbonate, but still inside the cell. What happened to the blood? Do we need more acidity in the blood? Get the hydrogen here and the bicarbonate here. So increase the acidity of the blood. If the acidity too much, we need to make it slightly alkaline. Push this out and get this inside. Is that easy? You're gonna kill me. I asked you, you said yes. Simply. Hydrogen bicarbonate regulate the blood pH. And both are here. What the blood needs? Need hydrogen, put the hydrogen here, bicarbonate here. Too much acidity, put the hydrogen here, bicarbonate here. What is a big deal? That is a homeostasis. Any other function for the kidney? activation of vitamin D. The kidney is responsible for activation of vitamin D. Vitamin D is formed by exposure of the skin to the sun. Exposure of the skin to the sun, it helps the body for the nucleus, formation of the nucleus of vitamin D. The nucleus of vitamin D goes to the circulate to the liver to form incomplete vitamin D, and the vitamin D is completed by the kidney, and by the kidney it converts the incomplete vitamin D into complete vitamin D. So healthy kidney is important for healthy bone, healthy blood pressure, healthy joints. Do you hear some medicine called water pills?
Yes.
Water pills. What's water pills?
So you exactly when they have the blood pressure.
Increase the amount of urine. Increase the amount of urine, right? You pass 2 liter urine a day, and you're gonna pass 2.5 liters. You pass 2.5 liters, you take the pill, 3 liters of urine. Increase the amount of urine. It causes polyuria. Polyuria means increase the amount of urine. Very good.
Usually they use it when they had the blood pressure.
For many reasons. One of the reasons is the high blood pressure. They're using the diuretics for the treatment of blood pressure. The blood pressure, we have many grades.
Yeah.
We have mild blood pressure, moderate, and severe. It depends on the severity of the blood pressure. In mild type, sometimes they give diuretics and it's enough. And the blood pressure is controlled under the diuretics. But in mild and severe case, it's not enough by itself, but they can give the diuretic in combination with other antihypertensive medicine.